Hi, I'm Chris from Airwindows, and I have a very simple little plugin to show you today. What would you do if you had a recording that, say, it's whatever weird recording you've got, and it had a bunch of DC offset? Well, you could do things like I've recently introduced a plugin called Hermitech or Hermipass, and that is a kind of low-pass filter that can take out DC offsets. Or I even have a plugin in here somewhere that is supposed to do exactly that. It's a very steep thing that's supposed to take away DC offset. I don't remember whether I made this into a plugin yet. I do know that this one is very enthusiastic with its overshoots and does not sound as good as this one doesn't sound as good as Hermipass. Hermipass is more advanced. But what if you went even simpler than that? Voila, DCVoltage. Now this might also be useful for people who are running analog synthesizers out of their digital to analog converters and making control voltages, because as you can see, DC voltage just makes a control voltage. Here, let's move this out of the way and do some kind of nice silence generating plugin. What have I got that would be good for that? How about throwing density 2 on there and then just killing the level? Oh, and we can see I've already got a DC voltage because I can make it go away. So if you have just a silent track and was generating DC, what you could do is put DC voltage on and then make it compensate for whatever the DC was that was coming through. And it acts kind of like this. I'm going to maybe be careful not to leave that on for very long, although it's not likely to come through YouTube or anything, because pretty much any output you've got, certainly converting to YouTube videos or whatever, is going to make that just plain go away. But there you are. A DC voltage. Now, use this with caution. It's there for people to use. I saw somebody on Gearslots who I've seen around for years talking about how he was doing some kind of plugin and running multiple instances of it and boosting it out just to make it produce a DC offset. And I think that's just unreasonable. So enjoy. You can have a full 1 to -1 output level, more or less the entire possible range of the output. If you run that through your speakers, they may blow up. Please don't. If you run that into your analog synthesizers, that might be exactly what you want. I can't scale it for you so that it plays neat. I'm not sure what voltages your converter puts out, but this is just a little weird tool that you probably don't have. Logic and typical DAWs don't come with this for obvious reasons, because if you turn it on, you're telling your woofers to blow. And nobody likes that. So DC voltage, don't use this unless you know what you're doing, but it is a plugin for generating control voltages, generating things that are part of a audio signal that can be used to either compensate for some kind of DC offset, in which case you'll basically just try to get the low frequencies here to zero out. And if you've done that, you might or might not get a pop as the track cuts in. but for most of the track, it should be smooth enough, and that'll work fairly well for you. And again, who knows what other purposes you might be able to come up with this. If you do a lot of elaborate combinations of audio tracks feeding other things and driving each other or driving side chains or whatever it is that you do, it might come in handy. Just be cautious with it because it will not be friendly to your amplifiers and woofers and things like that. So that's DC offset. Play safely, kids.